Merry meet and welcome to Jupiter's Radiance. I'm Taylor, and Happy New Year if you're watching this at the time of its posting. This is just a little pick-me card reading to see exactly what we need to hear at this time. We are using Alana Fairchild Oracle decks today, so we're going to be using the rhythms of her channeling to help give us that insight, and I will be reading from both of the books with this. And so we do, of course, have our two piles here. You can see the timestamps below if you need to skip ahead, but we'll go ahead and get started with pile 1. Merry meet again, pile 1. So here we are. For this, we do have two Rumi cards that came out. We are going to be reading for both of them. Just know that only one may resonate with you, and it's more about the nuance of the Pegasus Oracle that is being applied to the Rumi Oracle. So definitely take what resonates. If there is a mixed message here for you, then definitely follow through with what is calling out to you. So with that, let's go ahead and see what our Rumi Oracle says for us. And so first we have 16 from Nothing to Everything and 34 Layla. Now before I read Rumi, we just want to see what our Pegasus is, and we have 26 Pegasus of Polaris. And I apologize if I mispronounced that. So something we want to keep in mind while we are reading both of our Rumi Oracle cards is this energy that we are being taken care of by essentially the North Star. Like we are reaching out into that energy, and we are seeing shifts happen in and around us due to it, mainly around us. So very lot of external change that is happening due to us pursuing our calling. 16 from Nothing to Everything. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. Rumi. Have you been shedding your skins, your layers, your certainties? Gone are fixed identities and definite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you are releasing too much, and then perhaps you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist as you have known yourself to be thus far. Another emanation of you awaits, blazing angel, something more beautiful and true. Yet here you are at the pruning stage. Like a gardener for the soul, shall the garden spring back to life, or will the enthusiastic denuding process be rather too much and unintentionally kill off the garden altogether? Fear not, your soul is made of hardy stuff. It can handle a lot of the culling and will shine even brighter for it. There is a greater story to be impressed upon your essence than the one you are currently dreaming up. Though you are brilliant, no doubt about it, my angel of love, there is one who is even more so. The imagination of this great writer is beyond our comprehension. The stories that pour forth from that cosmic poet in every moment are so rich they inspire the creation of art and music. One such story is especially created for you, yes you, with a starring role in all the best supporting cast. You shall gasp in wonder and awe, glee, and delight when you hear it. It is a great romance, a great adventure, with an ending truly spectacular and divine. Would you wish to hear it? Become attentive now, put your own tales aside, as dramatic as they may seem right now, and prepare to be entranced by the greater storyteller, the living poet of love, as you are entranced in a tale of your unfolding divine destiny. There are moments on the path of love that seem to focus on letting go of identities, of knowledge and certainty, of opinion and even attempts at control. We may feel as though we are being stripped back to our core, and even then, perhaps further still. We may wonder if we can bear it. What shall, if at all, remain intact through these rigors? We may feel challenged every time we attempt to become something great, as though we are blocked by circumstances beyond our control. Again and again, it is as though a greater hand smacks our wrist the moment we try to take hold of something firmer, someone, anything that brings us certainty or inner stability. Such are the rigors at an advanced stage on the path. We need this challenge when our soul is ready for it. Why must it be thus? This is a sage question indeed. When we are asked to dispense with our story, the interpretations we have given to our life experiences over the years, we may not hear the request at first. We may vaguely note it, but not recognize the divine source asking this of us, and so we do not give such an inclination due accord. We may persist with spinning our own tales instead, Oh, our mind may fancy itself to be a great wrangler of the word, impressed with its own judgments and declarations, yet in the light of comparison with the divine tale for our soul, all our fancies shall pass away, revealed as so very frail, like clouds dissipating in the sky. Perhaps we are graced with the realization there is so much more. Or perhaps we still don't get the hint and move into struggle as we try to enact what we think our story should be. We may hit obstacle after obstacle and create even more terror in our storytelling. That life is such pain, a struggle, that success may not be for us, that we are forgotten and unheard. Yet we could equally choose to wonder if obstacle after obstacle, closed door after closed door, is just a prompt to look for the open window to climb through. And if so, instead of seeking to impose our small story upon the great truth, we can live the truth of our divine destiny. Then something magical happens. Participate through presence along with the unfolding story of our soul journey. We open up to whatever is asked of us, presented to us, happening through us as we choose each day to come alive as much as we can. Then, as if by magic, there is something else that occurs. That would be grace, real, rich, dripping with goodness and sustenance, grace. This is the sacred blessing that enables us to pay attention to opening doors rather than closing ones. The divine assistance that lets us know our life is proceeding according to a greater intelligence and plan. Once we stop thinking quite so much and live day to day, we will be blessed with the realization that our individual life story is so much more extraordinary and perfect than anything we could have summoned, even with our wildest imagination. This oracle comes with guidance for you. You are being asked to let go to receive, to become empty to be filled. This may mean letting go of attachment to a lover so you can receive genuine love. It may be of no longer holding onto a fantasy of your dream job, but of being guided into your most soulful and successful vocation. It may mean letting go of wishes for your body or health to be other than it is, so you can simply get on with living each day, taking steps into wellness without thinking beyond one day at a time. It is the divine paradox that when we are asked to surrender a story or fantasy, it is because reality is knocking at our door, more often than not with the delivery of what we have been fantasizing about, but in the best way for us. The human experience of this paradox is that you may feel you are giving up hope, that your fantasy is dying. It may be very painful and bring you much grief, but all that is dying is your attachment and opinion about how it must be. This needs to happen so that you can stop dreaming and start living it. This is what is happening for you now. Do not fear any part of the process. Embrace it without expectation, with trust in your heart, that the divine is simply guiding you from fantasy into fulfillment. Sacred honoring ritual. Place your hands in prayer and bow your head. Say aloud, I choose to trust in the great genius unfolding in my life. I give thanks for the blessings of grace now flowing into my heart. I have no need to know. I trust in the perfection of my being unfolding with innate intelligence and wisdom. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, holds me in its protection, and I accept destiny with a peaceful and trusting heart. Please help me to surrender the stories, attachments, fantasies, and fears that have held me back from living my heart's desires fully. I now choose unconditional trust in the loving genius of life to lead me into my fulfilled destiny now. So be it. You have completed your sacred honoring ritual. Now for 34, Layla. Put aside your clever schemes, O lover, be mindless. Become mad, dive into the heart of the flame. Become fearless, be like a moth. Turn away from the self and tear down the house. Then come and dwell in the house of love. Be a lover, live with lovers. Clear your chest from all hostility, wash it 7 times. Then fill it with the wine of love. Be a chalice for love, be a chalice. You must be all love to be worthy of the beloved. When going to the gathering of drunks, be a drunk, become drunk. Your thought takes a course, dragging you in its wake. Move beyond thought, let your heart lead, be the leader. When the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. When the beloved's hair is loosened, brush it like a comb, be a calm. Rumi. How I long for my thoughts to no longer make any sense to me. Then I can be rid of them like noisy house guests who have overstayed their welcome. Oh, the peace when they finally go. Their incessant chatter brings me no comfort. I crave the silence of you. Will you let me hear it? Will you run through the noisy house of my mind with your great muddy feet so that I can focus on something other than my mind for a while? Maybe you can make such a mess that I shall give up my plans and attempts at order completely. Just give in for a change. It's time for that. to give up my ridiculous fantasies of perfection, useless, noisy, irritating, demanding, and yet deadening perfection. I'd rather just be alive. I want to plant my head in the earth in the same mud that sticks to your feet and breathe in her rich soil smell. I want to feel her heart beating in the quiet movements of the roots of the plants as they stretch and grab and stop my ears with her fertile dirt, finally gaining peace from the constant infernal racket of thought. Oh, beloved, you are to be envied. You are being given the gift of no self, no noise, no sense. The great beloved truly wants you to be closer than you ever to the wild universal heart, in that field of love. Every electronic device goes haywire, systems collapse, worlds collide, and great stars are born from the chaos. But the real you will sense none of this. You'll be staring at your beloved, so intoxicated by love, your tongue will loll out of your mouth, and you'll drool like a bloodhound, and you won't care a hoot, neither will the great beloved. Such will the passion of your reunion be, that the only thing to matter will be the one great love exploding inside your being. So who cares if you have no idea what day it is, what was your job supposed to be again, or how to make conversation, let alone intelligent conversation, at the dinner table? Oh well, you should not be yourself anymore. You should not be so appropriate or sociable. Who understands crazy words that fall out of your mouth unchecked by logic or rationality? I do. I know the beloved too. I am under that same loving spell. I, like you, have no I anymore. I, like you, am so crazy with love that I care not for things making sense anymore. I, like you, long for my night of love with the great beloved that ends me forever and renders me only and ever the lover of the great beloved. I call that night forward from my love-crazed heart as to you. The Layla al-Qadr, the night of destiny, let us run together and pound on the bedroom door of the great beloved. There is no shame, there is nothing else worth holding on to. Let us go now, throw ourselves upon the goodwill of the Creator. Our hair shall be messy and mingle with the curving galaxy, and the planets shall grow rings around them, becoming the many eyes of the beloved, delightfully bearing witness to our loving, passionate surrender. This oracle brings you a message. You are moving through a period of not knowing, of a time in the great void or womb of the great mother. It is in this place the seed can crack open and take root. This cannot happen in the light where all is seen and recognized. It must happen under the cover of darkness where only trust can assure one of success. This is the way of nature, the way of life, and it must be honored. This oracle brings you ancient wisdom. It guides you not to fear the darkness, but to enter into it willingly. It is not for you to become lost, but to find your way. This oracle is saying that in darkness, there is the path. Dartaraki Tariquat. I apologize if I mispronounced that. We do not turn away from it, let it be. Be with the lack of knowing when people ask of you so many questions and demand sensible answers to support their notion of reality. Do not bow to such unworthiness and fear. Know that their minds may be fearful for your safety and their own, lest your divine madness be contagious, but that their fear is nothing to you, nothing at all. It is not even anything to them, but they just don't know that yet. Under the sacred black cloak of night, the divine mother, the goddess, she who transfigures from darkness into the light, has invited you into her chamber. In that place you shall experience annihilation, but only that of which is untrue, that of which would hold you back, dampen your spirit, or prevent you from bursting into full aliveness. For which is true is already seated deep in her womb and is preparing to be born, strong and with good powerful legs, so when it is time it will leap like a wild creature, all instinct and intuition into the morning. For this moment, however, there is darkness, and that is essential for the appearance, so eminent beloved of the light, on its way. This oracle brings you guidance. If you find yourself to be sad, to be grieving, whether you know for what or not, or even depressed or struggling, feeling as though you're being pulled down, do not fight. Bear witness instead, and allow what is taking place to take place. Allow what is happening to happen. You shall find a joy in allowing the interplay of darkness and the light to take place according to the great unfolding rhythm of your own divine growth. Sacred honoring ritual. Sit in a dark and quiet space if possible. Say aloud, I honor the darkness that serves the all-loving light. Through the grace of Rumi and the Divine Mother, I am blessed with the growth of my soul into life, even with the darkest of the places. The Divine Beloved dwells with unfailing generosity and compassion. In my surrender I am held, and in my darkness the seed of new life takes root. So be it. Rest for as long as feels good. You have completed your honoring ritual. 26. Pegasus of Polaris. Pegasus of the true guiding star of my soul, I invoke the enlightened wisdom that can assist me in all ways to fulfill my divine destiny with joy, abundance, peace, creativity, and freedom in service to the spiritual liberation of all beings. And so I'm only reading the little prayer to the Pegasus for Pegasus Oracle, but just a little insight into this. The theme and pattern that we see here for our pile 1 is that there is very much a release happening. It is happening very much inside of you as well as outside of you, and so it can seem a little bit chaotic, but the more that you surrender to that chaos, the more that you will actually find yourself in you'll become more grounded. The more you surrender, the more grounded that you'll become. There's kind of like the imagery of like when you do in fact plant a seed, you have to take away some of the dirt in order to make room for that seed in the first place. And you also have to make sure that like there's no rocks in the soil that will harm that seed from growing further. And so that's kind of the process that's happening right now, is essentially the soil is getting taken care of. And so it's such a like foundational cleansing that is happening that it can seem very intense. So definitely pursuing more authentic love is what's going to be the most supported. And that love can also start anywhere. Like it can start from a pet, it can start from a family member, a friend, a partner, and it also can start from within yourself. So wherever that seed needs to start, it is okay to start there. There is no shame or guilt in needing to seek out that source first and then grow from there. Okay, pile 1, I want to thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with our random readings that we're going to be adding. And don't forget to check out our card spread of the week playlist to support you with spreads for every week of the year and aligning. With that, I want to thank you again, and I'll definitely see you guys next time. Blessed be. Okay, pile 2. Let's go ahead and get started. We are going to flip over both cards. First our Rumi, then our Pegasus, and we're going to read the full Rumi, and we're just going to read the prayer for our Pegasus. And so let's go ahead and jump into it. And so we have 20, the all-encompassing hand, with our Pegasus energy being the red Pegasus of firelight. So let's go ahead. 20, the all-encompassing hand. You are the essence of my existence. Who am I? A mirror in your hand. Whatever you do, I will do. I am your irresistible reflection. With every breath I feel, my heart is beating with yours. In your joy, I'm exuberant. In your sadness, I am in sorrow. If you are bitter, I become bitter. If you are grace, I become grace. My joy is when I am bewildered in your beauty and taste the sweetness of love on your lips. If I pick a rose without you, it becomes a thorn in my hand. If I am the thorn, I become the rose in your hand. Rumi. I have held your hand in mine for so long that I have long since ceased to distinguish where your sacred flesh once felt separate from mine. This sacred grasp pulses with divine love, and there is one hand holding and held, one being loving and loved. Though we may appear by less ecstatic angels to be two, the love that gives us this hand-fast beloved is so powerful we could spend the entire universe upon its axis, and still our hands would be joined gently and yet enduringly in unfailing love and sublime friendship. Perhaps you are in need of reassurance, dearest one. Perhaps you have been feeling somewhat alone on your path, or struggling with a matter deep within your precious, beautiful heart, and speaking of it to no one. Such loneliness can foster in the heart. With no other to bear witness to your life experience, you may question your life, your sanity, your truths, and create doubt where no doubt need be. This must stop now. You are worthy of so much more, and this suffering is not essential for your growth now. It is time to let be and to open up to the touch of grace. So this oracle comes to you as the hand of the divine. It is the all-encompassing hand, the hand that has no limitation upon the blessings it can bestow, upon the troubles it can lift from you, upon the tenderness it can communicate to you through sacred touch. Allow the divine hand to reach for you, beloved. Do not turn it away. Do not let old shame, guilt, or mistaken notions of false independence keep you from accepting this heavenly hand. His hand reaches to you, gently wipe away the tears of the past. It will deftly unravel the ties that have bound your own hands, preventing you from fully giving and receiving according to your worth, which is incontestable and without limit. This divine hand will reach for you in your meditations, your sleep, and your prayers. It will reach for you through life circumstances, through the smile or the hug you receive from another or the touch of another being. It will reach for you through the song of a bird, the falling of a leaf, the soft fur of a beloved pet, through song lyrics that seem to speak what you are feeling deep inside, or the colorful dress of the stranger across the street who catches your eye, makes you smile. This divine hand is reaching for you now through this oracle. Yes, says the great beloved, I am reaching for you. Yes, I know you. You are my own. I would never abandon you. Perhaps you have turned from me unknowingly, forgotten how much I love you, because the world is a forgetful days too, and ignores the caress of the breeze, the joyful acknowledgement of every sunrise, and the reverence made radiant in every sunset. Life is the touch bestowed by my hand. Shall you receive me? Let me love you. Let me restore your soul and remind you there is nothing to fear now. Come, lay down your weapons and your fear for this moment. Quit using that mouth to cry for war or to cry in despair. Bring yourself to my table and use that mouth to taste some bold and rich wine instead. Enjoy with me in this moment the unbreakable bond that lies between us. Allow me to bring the cup of wine to your lips. Behind your head so gently lies my all-encompassing hand. Know the peace of my love, so deeply can it register with you now, that you shall never forget it. This oracle comes with a particular message for you. There may be a situation or circumstance in your life that you may feel is somehow unable to be solved. This oracle comes with reassurance that there is nothing beyond the reach of the divine hand of grace. All can be solved, all can be resolved. There is always a higher, better, more beautiful outcome possible. You are asked to pray using this sacred honoring ritual and to do so with conviction. The divine has the situation in hand, and all is unfolding as it should be. Ask for help each day by saying, I ask for help this day in all ways through unconditional love. Thank you. You can be more specific in your requests, asking for help in a particular relationship or project too if you wish. Divine wants to lend you a hand. You must ask for help first, however, so ask. Empower that all-powerful hand of grace to bless your life in all circumstances, relationships, and situations that have been or are yet to be for you. Sacred honoring ritual. Place one hand resting upon the other with palms joined together. Say aloud, through the loving grace of Rumi, brother of my soul who loves me without condition, these hands are now blessed as the hands of the lover and the beloved. As the one divine hand, all-encompassing, I am blessed, protected, nurtured, and received. I am touched by the divine with compassionate mercy and loving tenderness. I call on the hand of grace to touch, heal, bless, and protect all aspects of myself and my life journey. Through divine grace, so be it. Simply rest with your hands in the same position for several moments, then finish your ritual. If you wish, you may continue by speaking in prayer to the divine and offer up any issue or concern you have. Give it a voice. It doesn't matter how small or major the issue may seem. Talk it over with the great beloved, a wonderful and responsive listener. When you are finished, place your hands in prayer, bow your head, and simply say thank you. You have completed your sacred honoring ritual. Red Pegasus of Firelight. Through unconditional love, divine grace, and enlightened wisdom, I open to healing and embrace the gifts of material well-being, abundance, safety, and presence with a willing heart for the spiritual benefit of all beings. So we're definitely really seeing for our pile 2 here, the main theme is around reassurance and understanding and grounding into your foundations, but not in the way of holding on to anything that is not serving you and holding on to comforts, but definitely more in the way of not allowing your anxieties and fears to overshadow the foundations that you have built up or that are available to you. And there's definitely a little bit of an ask to trust. The main takeaway for our pile 2 here is definitely going to be around engaging more with that practical energy. And for instance, it's like asking more and talking more about like what you do desire and what you kind of want. And then it also is about recognizing what you do have, and there is some energy of having gratitude for what is around you, but to not fret over this time, essentially. Okay, we're going to go ahead and leave it there. I want to thank you for being here. Definitely comment below, let me know if this resonated for you and if there's any other types of readings that you're curious to see. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date on any other future readings that we may be doing. And finally, don't forget to check out our playlist for card spreads for every week of the year to help with further alignment and pulling and using your own oracle decks as you need. Thank you again, and we'll catch you in the next one. Blessed be.